Hello everyone, hope you're doing well on this fine day. I wanted to talk for a minute about magic. Magic seems to be one of those words it can mean a lot of different things. To a lot of people, magic is evil, and to a lot of people, magic is just playing tricks for people, but magic is being used constantly on people, psychologically, mentally, emotionally. But I'm not here to talk about that very, very controversial subject. What I did want to say was that each one of you and I can practice a particular form of magic, which requires really little effort, if any. In fact, this type of magic requires the removal of effort. So it's actually a state of simpler living, and that's the magic of silence magic. And silence can make a person it can really change the way a person perceives the world. You know, there's a book I read years ago called The Power of Silence by Carlos Castaneda, and I've tried to utilize a lot of the things I've learned in life about silence and try to be quiet. Just shut your mouth sometimes. Just shut up and just let it go. I'm not just talking about things people say. I just mean don't open your mouth until you know what you're going to say, and to make sure you need to say something at all. And I am the ultimate victim of that problem. I'm not a victim, I should say. I'm ultimately guilty of that speaking before I think. Because I make my videos, it's obvious. I mean, I'm not writing anything down. I'm talking, and often I'll say something that I didn't necessarily mean to say or come out wrong. But generally, I think things through pretty well before I speak. But the particular type of silence I'm talking about in this situation is bullies, haters, and those who want to cast a shadow over other people. And the one thing that a bully or someone who's tearing your ego down to build their own, the only way that they're going to win is if you allow them to win, and the only way that you're going to allow them to win is if you bite. They're casting a line, and you can just let it float by, or you can bite on it. And I think that every one of us is guilty of standing up for ourselves to a certain extent. I mean, I don't know anybody I've ever met who just takes it from everybody, and just takes it. You're this, you're that. Yes, I am. People snap eventually. Then on the other hand, there's a lot of people who, if you tell them they're a certain way, even if they are, they will never admit to it, because that's, admitting defeat to them. But there are some people out there who feed off of your emotions. They feed off of your anger. They feed off of your retaliation to what they say to you. And I was just listening to a radio show by Thomas Sheridan, and he was talking about that, about how he was on a forum and he'd been harassed by these people, and the moderators on the forum started making up all this shit about him and lying and telling just brutal lies. So that's a good example, is because when you're online, and let's say you have a website or a group of people, and one person starts spreading rumors and talking all this shit, you practice the power of silence. You practice silence magic. You ignore it completely and allow the animals to eat themselves, because there are sharks in the water. And when you start trying to defend yourself to someone who's saying something that's just so outrageously bullshit, it's obvious, and you're trying to defend yourself and say that's not true, you're chumming the water, and those sharks are going to keep coming, and more are going to bite on it. And pretty soon you're going to have people saying all this stuff, and then some people don't have the ability to look at themselves positively, and they start questioning themselves. Is this true? Am I really this way? That's how self-esteems get damaged. And I'm glad that I'm strong. I'm glad that I really don't care. But there's a difference between not caring what people say about you and just not caring what bad people say about you, or what bad things people say. And we have to be willing, if people in our lives and loved ones say something that's true about us, like you do this and it's not good, we listen to that. You can't just ignore that. But when it's somebody you don't even know, that's across the world, that's telling you that you do this and you do that from behind their computer, the only way that they're going to get anything off of you is if you answer them and retort. And you might be able to make a one-liner and say, yeah, you're obviously just delusional, whatever, good luck with it, bye. Even that type of a response will warrant, more and more stuff. And the people will pick. These people are professionals at picking out one part of your comment that was, you could answer all the questions that they ask you. If someone's saying, well, then what about this and what about this? And you answer all the questions, then the person says, oh, well, and they'll quote like some line that you'd said from a different comment or something. These people aren't trying to get any resolution. They're trying to rile you up. And there's just no room for that, People feed off of it. And I think that people take this, they need to take it more literally. People really do feed off of your anger, feed off of your fear. They feed off of it. They get energy. It's just like your energy level is, yeah, you get it.